So Shavyfxhub, let's look at GBP, JPY. We have looked extensively on the bond yield between the two economy, and we have seen yesterday that the British pound sterling have, you know, experienced a strong buying pressure, and the 10-year bond yield of British, economy saw a significant influx of liquidity, and the carry traders have come in to do what they're known best for. And we have seen yen also shooting. The 10-year Japanese bond yield also didn't do bad, despite the retracement. Market open on a bullish footnote, and we have seen that the buyback continue. I mean, this is just crazy. It's just crazy. So we have seen that continue. This is a very structure. This is a strong structure at this level. There is a strong structure at this level. We must acknowledge a break of structure at this level. There is a break of structure at this level starting from March. The price action is showing that it's a broken structure. And we've looked extensively on the 10-year bond yield, which happens to be our new benchmark in pairs. And we have seen GJB doing its thing. But lucky enough, towards London session and New York session, we have seen a switch, and the British pounds demonstrate its resilience again against the Japanese yen. So Japanese government 10-year bond yield really had a strong effect on US 10-year bond yield, and we saw it. We saw it as the US 10-year bond yield opened on a bearish footnote, started dropping, and we saw Japanese 10-year bond yield uprising. So technically, the USD JPY was a constant sell until we got into New York session where we saw volatility and we saw some significant push in the bond yield, and we checked the DSY and we saw that the trajectory is changing, and we changed the direction, pairing it with the structure of the market. And the GJ was not different from UJ. It was not different. So there is a breakout structure at this level, and I want to point out key areas that market reacted. This is a breakout of structure, and when price return, you respected the structure, you can see a significant drop in 4 hours. And in fact, the entire thing here was a mess up chart. But when price came back, of course, I know that the price action at this level was capable of holding price after upswinging. And to also buttress my point, trading is probability. We have a structure at this level and we have a breakout structure. Remember, there are a series of wicks at this level creating a demand floor after price suddenly stormed, and we had a heavy bullish candle engulfing all the candles at the end. We have price return at this level, creating a support structure. So that support structure cannot go unnoticed. We must pair that support structure, and let's see what it does. Let's see what it does. Let's go back to a lower time frame for clarity. The reaction we are looking for, we might not see it on 4 hours. So we want to draw a trend line, and a trend line, of course, I can best see it on 1 hour or 2 hours. That's how I will see my structure. So now this is what we want. This is what we want. So you can see that it was not a manipulation. The market bought on demand. So now we have double confluence. We have here as a support structure, break of structure, price came back, and after that, we have got a retest. There's a broken structure here, and there's a retest floor 1, retest floor 2, and price came back after all the dancing, retest floor 3. Come on, GJ to the moon. Don't play on this. Don't play. So now let's look out for the evidence. I have another ascending trend line breakout from here, and I must also acknowledge it. There is a trend line breakout from this level, which is worthy of note. Now my litmus test is to see when price breaks away from this structure, and I also want to bring it into 3 hours or maybe possibly 4 hours. There is a breakout from here, ladies and gentlemen, also with a significant retest. And we don't need to be told. So we can see the structure there. And trading is simple. Lately, one of the most simplest thing I've seen is trading. Trading is very, very simple. Very, very simple. You need to build a strategy. You need to be confident. And when you make a chart, please stand on your chart. Even if you fail, there's no problem. You try again until you discover what you're doing. Here is a support structure. Here is a support structure. Here is a support structure. Another support structure. Break of structure, retest. Retest one. So I want price to return into that structure. And if it returns into that structure, it's going to sell. However, if price chooses not to sell from this roof and chooses to break it, that is perfectly fine. That is what I want if it breaks the structure. Because I'm tired of shorting GJ. I feel like going long as the trend is long. So it gives you absolute peace of mind that you are following the trend. Now we have, um, of course, this is looking more like a stronger bearish days to come, like what the structure is doing. It looking like more bearish days to come. So I don't know what is up to. But if you look at it, there is a chart pattern here. The market have played in a very familiar pattern where it updated the roof, creating a dynamic supply on ascending trend line, and also creating a demand floor. From the floor, it has a two demand floor. It's playing on the both structures for demand. And on technical, it broke away from the first demand floor and held firmly by the second. So the second could technically challenge price. So if it challenge price and it wants to represent true price action, then what I expect it to do is to break away from that supply roof, retest it, and continue upswing. Otherwise, it's going to drop from here. So what I want to see is this. If price moves into this structure, it has respected it once and rejected, I expect it to return. So I expect 10-year government bond yield of the British pound sterling to continue to move. I want to see UK government 10-year bond yield continue to move. That is what I want to see. Because I know who to pair with JGB. I know who to pair. But I think for British pounds, they have a hurdle here. So if price comes here and respect the structure and drops again, then technically they will come back. And when they come back, it is likely they will challenge this floor again and ultimately break down and begin to trade low. And we don't want to see that either. We don't want to see it. So I have other supporting evidence. And let's look on 4 hours if we can get a structure. We have another structure here. There is a structure here, 2 by floor. As 2 by floor at that level. So you can see that buy floor, and most likely all these parameters put together could be providing insight into Gbpjpy buy potential. And we have looked at the bond yield, and the bond yield is not really doing bad. It's not really doing bad. So we see carry-on traders bringing in money into UK economy. I see them doing so. So you can see the structure. There's a structure here, break of structure, retest 1, retest 2, retest 3. And from the top layer, we have here as a resistance structure. And if you marry it on 4 hours time frame, you will see that it also provided its own resistance impulse today. Okay, let's see. So we hope that it's going to come into this structure. If it comes into there, then we want to see what it does. So break and close above that structure is a buy confirmation. The reason for that is also here very clear. We have price create here as a demand floor and another retest of a demand floor before a break of structure. Price returns here as a retest. And if price comes here and it breaks this structure, then we move up. This is a buy confirmation. But if it comes here, there is a probability because we have a double confluence here that price will get rejected. And if price gets rejected, it will continue to trade downward, maybe possibly break below this structure. Now, the reason is this. We have a breakout from an ascending trend line. The breakout from the ascending trend line is evident. We have here support structure. We have here support structure. We have here support structure. And we have a clear breakout. This is not just a one candle breakout that you will say, oh, it didn't show well. This is a clear breakout. So if they intend to continue buying, they have to return back then before they can now trade. Trading is very simple. It's very, very simple. Very, very simple. On GJ, we clean GJ today. We clean good. And it feels good. All our trade are for educational purpose, oh, please. They are all for educational purpose. I didn't tell you to trade anyone with money. They are all for educational purpose. When we will call for trading with money is coming, not now. Maybe possibly towards the end of this month, then we'll change our strategy and we'll now begin to drop sniper entries that I will tell you, you can take a minimal risk and go secure the bag. So we have done a whole lot of experimental work on the strategy. We are very confident in this strategy, very, very confident. So confident that we post trade. I called gold trade today, and the price came exactly at that point, and reacted. So it's a strategy in-house, and our trade will always remain for free. We have no intention to charge anybody anything. So come in, take our trade, and give us a thumbs up. Please, if you find our trade and you feel any divergence, come to the comment section, show yourself, be confident to tell me that we are wrong, and I will take correction. And you can see there is a strong possibility that on 2 hours we have there is a supply roof coming, and I can also see it again that the market is showing a bullish sign. So let's just see what it does. I mean, no one can actually say what the market wants to do until it does whatever it wants to do. But I'm very skeptical of this hand here. So it shows that the price might escalate into this zone and drop. But if it breaks out from here, then you go long. You have no choice other than to go long. So this is what we've got for the 4 hours and 3 hours time frame analysis. And it is what it is, but it feels good to see that price actually came to that area and reacted. And GJ didn't disappoint our strategy. It didn't disappoint it. So all our trades are for educational purpose. So feel free to give us a thumbs up. Bye. See you again. Bye-bye.